Oh, yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast with Erica. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? Today I'm soloing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to solo it today. We're going to have us some fun. That's what I'm talking about. Erica had something to do today, so she's not going to be on the podcast. But I want to talk to you guys about some things, right? And we're going to have us some fun on this podcast. Are you ready? Get ready, baby. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Are you feeling that vibe? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying, man. Yes, indeed. So welcome to another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast with Erica. Listen, man, on today's episode, you know, it's still my birthday month, right? I'm still celebrating my birthday month. We had Mother's Day that just passes by a little while ago. And you know what? At the end of the day, man, we just having some fun. You know, my thing is, when I look at life, right, and I know me and Erica talk about it, and we have graduations going on. A lot of people graduating, the youngsters is moving up to the next level, right? When you see the youngsters moving up to the next level, man, you try to give them inspiration. You try to talk to them because you know what? Graduating from high school or even graduating from college, but I want to kind of focus a little bit on, you know, when the youngsters graduating from high school, this is a beginning for you. Like, yes, a huge accomplishment is to get out of high school, but things ain't what it used to be when I got out of high school. So, you know, things have changed. And I think a lot of people need to keep it real with the youngsters. Either you go into college to further your education, or you go directly to the workforce. A lot of the youngsters already into the workforce, right? A lot of them learning, you know, a lot of techniques into the workforce. Life is different, y'all. And I'm going to just speak from what I see out here in the world. When I speak to a lot of the youngsters out there, I believe that we have to think about our future a little more, prepare our kids for a real future. Think about this, right? We tell our children, you could be whatever you want to be. Yes, but how you go get to that point? You have to instill, you know, motivation. You have to give them tools. You listen, you hear this stuff, man, and listen, man. I want to keep it real with y'all, man. You hear this stuff about you could be whatever you want to be. Is that true? Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't have the skills to be whatever they want to be. Or sometimes they have skills to be whatever they want to be, but they don't want to apply it. They don't want to take it to the next level. They don't want to work hard for it. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you something. In life, nothing is easy. Nothing will come to you. You have to work hard at it. Listen, a lot of people say, well, I'm going to work hard. Listen, being in the bed all day and not pursuing your careers right after high school or even before you graduate from high school is not working hard, people. Listen, I talk about myself. I'm the first person that get up in the morning and I'm the last person that go to bed at night. And listen, I believe that I haven't reached my goal. And even if I did reach my goal, the hard work still never stops. So, you know, when you hit it, you know, the youngsters, they're getting out there, they say, oh my God, I done graduated from high school. Then tomorrow comes, right? And when tomorrow comes, you think about, okay, so what's the next step? What's next? And I know me and Erica, we talk about it. And I ask these questions. And listen, for me, that's been out here a long time, been in the workforce, doing my own thing, working hard, you know, for doing different avenues of working hard, right? I look at the young generation has a very difficult time. Listen, man, if you think it's going to be easy, it's not going to be easy. I look at things like this, and I think y'all guys need to understand this, right? That what we did when we was young, the hard work that we put in when we was young is totally different from what the younger generation has to go through. They have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. And we as parents, we have to be real with them, keep it real with them, support them, but work with them because it ain't like it used to be. I'm telling you, it ain't like it used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about, okay, I want my child to be successful. How they gonna be successful? You tell me how they gonna be successful. Listen, we all as parents want our children to be successful, but what are we doing as parents to help them to be successful? Now, a lot of people might say, well, easy, it's all on them. But you got to remember, throughout their years of growing up, that's your responsibility as a parent to groom your child to this part of life. And so now, when they reach this part of life, it's no excuses on, oh, my child is not ready for the real world. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is for a child, your children, that's graduating from school, don't have a clue of the next step in life? Whose fault is that? Mama's fault? Daddy's fault? Or we go come with excuses? Oh, well, the daddy is not around, so I did the best I can. But did you really do the best you can? And for the fellas out there, I mean, come on now, fellas, did you do the best you can? And that's the whole thing. Listen, parents need to take accountability of their children, of their kids, of their young adults. One of the biggest issues right now is parents do not take accountability of how they raise their children. And now, since we got graduation season going on, the kids about to face reality. Guess what happens when you face reality? I mean, it's here, baby. Listen, kids graduated last weekend. Guess what? Monday becomes reality. You're not in school anymore. If you have a job, that's fine. But even if you have a job, you think about, okay, is this job that I'm on my future? That's the key to success. And I'm going to tell you, me as a parent, it's never too late to help children. It's never too late to help our kids. Never too late. Listen, I only have one daughter, and my daughter is my pride and joy. I'll do whatever it takes to educate my daughter so she can go to the next level. It's my job to make sure that my daughter has the information and the tools she needs to be successful. Listen, man, when I say the information and the tools, that means that we have to work with them, sit with them, talk to them, talk about how we struggled in life, how we made it in life, the job, the time we might have got terminated from our job. We talk about the workforce. We talk about possible entrepreneurship. Listen, not everybody want to go on a job. Not everybody want to go on a job. Some people want to be business owners. People want to start their own business. People have a special gift that they can present to the world and make money doing it. So when you think about it in that aspect, you have to have something for your kids, for your child, for your son, for your daughter to be successful out there. It's the parents' responsibility to make sure that when their kids is in middle school, junior high school, and graduating from high school, they have to have a path forward. If that child that's graduating, because this is graduation season, doesn't have a path forward, you can't blame that child. You got to blame yourself. I think parents need to hold themselves accountable for their actions of not raising their children properly. Now, a lot of parents might say, well, I wasn't raised that way. My parents weren't in my life. My father wasn't in my life. My mother wasn't in my life. I had to raise my children by myself. I had to do it all by myself. I had to work to put clothes on their back and pay the bills. That's right. But still, it's your responsibility to raise that child properly. It's your responsibility to make sure that they know the do's and don'ts. That if they go out there and they rob somebody, or they go in the store and they steal stuff, shoplifting or something like that, they need to know the consequences behind that. They ought to know the information behind that. And why do they steal? Why do they get into bad things? Why do they rob people? Why do these kids is bad? Well, why? Because when they was growing up, You know that they was hanging with the wrong crowd, but you let them do it anyway. When they was in school and they gave you signs of, yeah, I'm going to hang out with so-and-so and blase this and blase that. Did you ask questions? Who is this you going to hang out with? Who is this person? You know, as a parent, it's your responsibility to ask these questions, to have demands on children, to make sure that they go in the straight and narrow, to give them the truth, the information about the good, the bad, the ugly, about life. Because listen, long as your child inside your home, they're not paying no bills, they may have chores, they may have a little penny ante job out there. But at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility to make sure that that child has the information and tools to go to the next level. And if it don't, you have to hold yourself accountable. Just because you didn't have a father figure in your life, just because you didn't have a mother figure in your life, doesn't mean that your children have to grow up to be that way, right? Listen, I always say this. I want my child to be better than I am. That means that I'm going to give my daughter the tools and information that she needs to get to the next level. And that's some serious talk. Parents, you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to look yourself in the mirror of your failures of your children if they don't have a path forward after graduation. That's your responsibility. Did you go to school to the counselor's office to try to get them in college, try to get them a free ride? Did you in a junior and senior year of high school, did you instill the positivity of possibly going to school, going to college to further their education, to get a high paying 6-figure job, to so they can pursue their happiness, right? It's your job to make sure that they got a path forward. I'm going to tell you, the things that's going on in this world, listen, people can get mad at me all they want. A lot of that falls on the parents. Now, the fathers, listen, man, you got much to blame too, because if you wasn't with the mama and y'all divorced, things happened and y'all wasn't together, it's still you as a father of your children. Is your responsibility. I don't care how many hours you work. I don't care if you're a truck driver or you whatever kind of career job that you have. I don't care about all that. What I care about is that you have to take time and effort to give your child the information for a path forward. And if your child stray the wrong way, it's your responsibility to get them on the right track. Now, when they say children and fell off and, oh my God, this child is bad and I don't know what happened to this child. They got caught stealing. They went to jail, juvenile, juvie hall and all that stuff. That's when your antennas need to go up, right? When your child have probably been in juvenile jail or have been caught shoplifting or have done something bad in their life as a youngster, right? Then your antennas need to go up and say, you know what? I need to do something now. I need to educate them. I need to give my child the information of, listen, here's your path if you don't change what you're doing right now, right? Here's your path, and it's not a good path. You have to, listen, get them to read books. Get them to read, look at some real life scenarios. Talk about real life scenarios. Keep it real no matter what. At the end of the day, they're still your child. If they're under your household, they're still your child. So guess what? If they're not under your household, it's a different story. But if they're under your household, it's your responsibility as a parent to make sure that your child is good to go. Path forward. The future is in their hands. And what I'm seeing out here, listen, man, it's not that great. Not that great. And look, I want to talk about that a little bit because every time you turn on social media, every time you look on Twitter, you look on Instagram, you look on TikTok, you see some stuff on YouTube, right? And I see the under 21 crowd is doing some things that we would never do in our lives. We would never talk back to our parents. We would never disrespect elderly people. We would never talk back to people, period. We had a community, and listen, it's all things have changed. I understand. Oh, easy, you old. And listen, I'm not old. I'm wiser, right? And I'm just saying this just because this is what we see every day. And look, the younger generation is the one that's going to be ruling this world where we old and we can't do anything. You know, we pass our prime and we just kind of chilling out. The younger generation is the one that's going to be running this world. That means that we have to do everything in our humanly possible. Parents, y'all got to get out and make sure that we instill the most positive path forward for our children. It's your responsibility. You got to hold yourself accountable for all the failures of your child. It's on the parents, father, mother, combined. It's your responsibility as a parent to make sure that your children go the right path. And that, I want to talk about that. And the next thing I want to talk about is, look, I'm in the tech space, right? Y'all guys know I make tech videos and stuff like that. And you know, I drop a lot of videos and stuff. Here's what I'm seeing in the tech industry, right? I'm seeing, you know, a lot of tech enthusiasts and stuff like that. They following the leader, right? They don't have, you know, you think about it, right? If you love a product, if you use a product, why do people get so easily influenced, right? Think about this. I use whatever I use, right? I talk about the products and services that I use. I talk about I'm an LG fan. I talk about that, you know, I use this microphone. I buy another microphone. I use this. I do reviews on different things like that. And listen, whether or not you like what I do or not, I don't let nobody influence me otherwise. The same thing what I see out here in the world. Think about this, right? Why would you let somebody influence you to change or buy a product when your current product is working fine? Listen, I see this a lot, and I don't understand why people do that. Listen, I don't understand why people let people do this, right? Don't never let nobody influence you on something that you like. So let's talk about it. I mean, let's talk about some difference of products, right? Apple dropped new iPads, right? And listen, expensive. But what did we talk about? We talk about that if a person wants to buy a $1,300 iPad, it's not up to anybody else to tell them you wrong, you stupid for giving Apple all that money and stuff like that. If that individual cold-heartedly say, you know what, I saved my money. This is what I want. And they buy it. And, you know, and, I mean, people have fun, man. People, you know, they post, you know, they celebrate, they stuff on Twitter and Facebook, and they talk about, listen, I just bought a new iPad. I'm excited about it. Man, I really do like the way the display look. I like everything about it. And what do you see in the comments? I can't believe you spent almost $2,000. That's stupid. Apple is ripping people off, and it ain't no better than the old version and stuff like that. Why can't we be this happy for the individual people? Why we hate so much? Why do we hate so much? I made a video and I did a reaction video on some of the things that I go through in my comments and how people tell me, oh my God, I can't believe you do this and you do that. Why not switch to something better? What's better? Better in your eyes? See, here's the thing. A lot of people will say stuff like, this is better. Okay, it's better for you. It may not be better for me. And look, I know I talk about this and that's in my live stream. I brought up Jay Will and the way he like BlackBerry, right? And I talked about how I love LG phones. And listen, I get the backlash from it all the time, you know. And but it's what I like. I never change. It's been like that for years. It's all good. I ain't tripping. And I also give praise to people that say, you know what? I love my Samsung. And you know what? What do we do? We give them high praise. Congratulations to you. It's going to be an outstanding device for years. Rock it till the wheels fall off. That's what we say, right? You know, or we talk about alternatives, right? I mean, listen, for the last couple of weeks, we had some rollouts. We had Apple roll out the new iPads that people hating on, right? And then we had Google, the Pixel 8a, right? And I expressed that in, I think, when I did the keynote address. I said that for me, I wouldn't recommend an 8A. I wouldn't recommend an A device from Google. But that's me though. That's the thing. Like I don't influence nobody that say, you know what, Easy? I want to get the A and all that stuff like that. And for me, all I can tell you is that get what you want, baby. Get what you want. It's all good. You don't have to, just because I don't like a certain device and you want it, it's not up to me to influence you not to buy what you want. And so if you want to get a Google Pixel 8A or 7A or save some money and go get a 6A, listen, baby, my job is to make sure that I give you the information about all things tech. Now, whether or not I like it or not, that's not up to me to influence you not to buy it. And it's not up to anybody else out there to influence you not to buy it. If you want it, baby, go buy it. And that's the whole thing. And so I think people get a lot of this stuff mistake. They feel that they have to buy things based off of popularity. And come on now, let's keep it real. If you've been following my YouTube channel, if you've been following me, right, I should be the most unpopular person when it comes down to tech. You know why? Think about what my daily drivers is. Think about what I use, from a V60 to a Unihertz tank to OnePlus 9, right? To a Galaxy Note 9. That I'm not popular for that. Think about it. I'm not using, iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm not using the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Think about that, right? So when it comes down to popularity, I am the least popular person on YouTube when it comes down to having the latest and greatest. I don't carry the latest and greatest. Now, I do have the OnePlus 12, phenomenal device. But my main SIM card, this is crazy. My main SIM card is in the OnePlus 9 Pro. Go figure, right? And my secondary SIM card is in the LG V60. So when it comes down to popularity, I am the last person on YouTube. Will tell anybody they get the latest and greatest. Because I practice what I preach. I don't use the latest and greatest. Now, I might switch to S24 Ultra maybe down the line, maybe a year from now, whatever. I might go to it or whatever. But I use devices that works for me. Now, a lot of people get confused. I'm like, how easy? Why would you not use a Galaxy S24 Ultra or a OnePlus 12 as your primary device? It's because, once again, I use products and services that works for me. Period. Bottom line. And I want people to understand that about me, right? A lot of people get confused when they come to the Tech Preacher channel because they see, oh my God, this guy got, high-end microphones. He got 230 phones. He got the latest and greatest phones. Why he don't use it? Think about that for a second. I don't have the S24 Ultra. I passed on that. But I got other devices that could be the latest and greatest, right? OnePlus 12, iPhone 15 Pro Max, stuff like that, right? But I don't use it. I use the OnePlus 12, but I always say this, and I will continue to say this, and I know I want people to understand me, that utilize the products and services that works for you. Now, it's our job as tech enthusiasts and tech reviewers to give you the information about products and services. That's it, right? Whether or not you like it or not, that's here or there. Whether or not you get mad at the reviewer for keep reviewing phones that's not popular, that's your problem. That's not my problem. Think about this. And people do leave comments on other people's channels, and they leave comments and on my channel. They put on Twitter that they don't understand Tech reviewers should always review the latest and greatest products no matter what. I disagree with that. I believe every YouTuber that has a channel, they do what they believe that they need to do to run their channels. Everybody not going to run their channels the same. Everybody not supposed to run their channels the same. I never run my channel like, the status quo. I've always been different. I've always thought about better bang for your buck. I always thought about how could things be different? How could I be different? And I look at things as being, devices and services, products and services out there that works for me. Now, listen, I talk about this and I know I love my Unihertz devices, and I'm rocking another Unihertz devices. Listen, it's great products for me. Think about it. It's great products for me. Now, if people get upset that I use no-name products and services, that's not my problem. That's your problem. They ain't got nothing to do with me, right? I like what I like, and I will use what I like. Think about this. I won't be fake or phony to tell you to use products and services that I wouldn't use. And if somebody hit me up and say, hey, listen, what's the best battery life device that they got out there? I'm going to tell them. And if I say something like the Unihertz Take, they go, oh my God, I don't want nothing like that. Well, you don't want the best battery life that I've ever used. You want a flagship device that's going to give you the best battery life. Well, you got your Galaxies, you got your iPhones, you got your OnePluses, you got your Pixels out there. Just pick one. Just pick one. Listen, pick one. All of them going to give you about the same battery life. Pick one. Hell, just pick one. Listen, what happened is these companies have heavy marketing. They make you believe that the products and services that you currently have is old and you need to upgrade. That's the thought process of these companies. They want your money. That's the bottom line. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing out there. At the end of the day, these companies want your money. So they will say stuff like, we go give you 7 years of updates. They go tell you stuff like, you go get this, you go get that. Oh my God, you need to upgrade. We go give you a couple of $100 for your trade and stuff like that. Listen, I say this again. I talked about this about trade-ins and stuff, right? Samsung for the last couple of years gave you crappy trade-ins. I told people hold off, don't trade in your. Listen, think about this, right? Whether or not you financed the phone or you bought it outright, right? It costs you $1,400 or $1,200 or $1,000 or whatever, and the company go give you $300 or $400 for a $1,200-$1,300 device. I feel bad to tell people to trade in a device and get $400 trade in, a $500 trade in, and then you got to come out of your pocket with $700-$800 for the remaining balance. So you go give up a $1,300 phone, then you got to come out of your pocket for $600 too, $700 too. The math ain't mathing. This don't make no sense. Listen, I understand people talking about, well, I want the latest and greatest. I don't want to keep an old phone. And what is old? What if a 1-year-old phone? Listen, man, if you believe a 1-year-old phone or tablet is old, then you don't know technology. Listen, I'm going to say this again for the people in the back. If you believe that a 1-year-old tablet, phone, computer is old after 1 year, then you don't know technology. Now, for all the ballers out there that you got money in the bank that you don't mind spending and you don't care about spending, it just ain't for you. I'm talking about the people that have this mentality that if a device is 1 year old, then it's time to get rid of it. But that makes everything flawed at that point, because why would a company and y'all get crazy hip hooray about a company supporting a device for 7 years when you only go rock it for 6 months? Let me say that again. You go crazy when companies say they're going to update their devices for 5 to 7 years when you, as a tech enthusiast, is only going to keep that device for less than a year. So it doesn't matter if they support the device for 7 years. And it goes back to another point that I talked about, right? Now, we talk about some devices that only get 2 or 3 years of support. People get highly upset. Oh my God, they only gonna give you 2 years of updates on that device. And I scratch my head. It doesn't matter to you because you ain't gonna hold your device for 6 months anyway. It don't matter if they give you 2 years of support. If they give you 2 years of support, that's 1.5 years longer than you go keep that device. So it doesn't matter. So if a company say we gonna support the device for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 7 years, most of y'all guys is not gonna hold on to that device in the first place. You're gonna pay for that device. When a new device come out, you go trade it in or you go sell it. You go move to the next device and you go follow, rinse, and repeat. And that's how it is. And listen, again, some people want the latest and greatest. It's all good, baby. But I see some people get upset and they get in the comments, and I want to talk about the Sony device, right? Because again, it's a lot of tech that been dropped, right? Now Sony have unveiled that their new Sony One Mark 6, right? And I have the One Mark 3. And of course, it got the latest specs. But the controversy with the Sony device is it went from a 4K display all the way down to a HD plus display. So people losing their minds. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing that they're losing their minds is that they took the Photo Pro apps and the Cinematic app that you use for professional use, and they combined it into one app. Now, we've heard that they're going to place an update and maybe give you a separate app, but people get upset about it. But here's what happened. Every year Sony phones used to come out. Nobody don't use a 4K display. I don't understand why Sony keep putting a 4K display on their devices. That was the comments that people were saying. Every year Sony was dropping devices with 4K displays. A lot of people were saying there's no reason you cannot tell a difference between Quad HD Plus to a 4K display. So what happened? People complained about it. Okay, next thing. Now, if you're not a photographer, a professional photographer, or a professional videographer, the two apps, the pro apps that Sony put in their app on their device, a lot of people never use it if you're not a prosumer, if you don't use those pro apps. Now, what Sony did, right, and we complained about this, is that their point and shoot app was terrible, right? But here we got the Mark 6, right? They actually gave everybody what they asked for. People complained about the 4K display. Okay, we took it away. We give you 1080p. But here's the thing. Don't you know that every Sony device that had a 4K display was sampled down to 1080p plus if you wasn't watching 4K content? It was already at 1080p. So that was the manipulation of people. It wasn't at 4K where you browsing the web or if you on your home screen. It was already 1080p. For what I understand, it downsampled down to 1080p. For what I understand, every Sony device where you was watching, if you watching the 4K video or you watching something in 4K, it will upscale it to 4K so you can get the high resolution. But day-to-day use, it was down to 1080p. It was HD plus. So it was already HD plus when you're using the device as normal. So for them saying that it's a 1080p plus display, it's nothing new to Sony because it was already downsampled from their previous devices. For what I understand, listen, I have a Sony device, and for what I understand, it was already down to 1080p for normal use. When you watch a 4K video or high resolution photo, then they upscaled it to 4K. For what I understand, again, people don't understand technology. What they do is that they ready to complain before they do their research. This is what happens in the tech space. Now, people complain a lot about different things. So you have complaints. Soon as everybody release something, it's a complaint. Every time somebody do something. But here come, Samsung and Apple about to drop some products in the next couple of months, and it's going to be sunshine and roses. We already know the playbook. We already know how people act and react. That's why I say this, right? I believe that a lot of people are not tech enthusiasts. I believe they're fans. Now, somebody had hit me up and said, hey, you could be a fan and a tech enthusiast. That's me, right? I'm a tech enthusiast and I'm a fan, right? You could be a fan of Samsung. You could be a fan of Apple and still be a tech enthusiast. But a lot of people is not tech enthusiasts. They stone bone fans. You know why? It's because if your favorite product, your favorite device get criticized out there, you go out there on the airways and defend it like you Superman. But tech enthusiasts don't do that, baby. Tech enthusiasts say, okay, easy. You still rocking the LG V60. It's an outdated phone. The company been closed since 2020, 2021, and you still using that device. It's it suck. I mean, I don't understand why you using it. It's slow. Got 865, couple of gigs of RAM, and you got them. Everything's slow as a slug. Why are you still using it? See? But me, I don't defend it. Because 99% of what everybody say, it's old, outdated, no more support, no more updates. And why are you using that when you have better devices out there? I listen to it, but I don't. All I say, I like what I like. You don't hear me going to a fanboy should say, oh my God, y'all wrong. Listen, it is what it is. If you talk about my beloved device, I ain't tripping. It is what it is. It ain't gonna stop me from using it though. See, that's the thing. It's a total difference between fanboys and tech enthusiasts, baby. Fanboys can like what they like. I can roll with a Unihertz. A lot of people say, why are you rocking with Unihertz? They don't even update their phones. They one and done. I like what I like, baby. I'm not going to defend it. I like what I like. So I say that for you guys to understand. If you like what you like, don't matter what I say. Don't matter what nobody say. If you're a fanboy of Apple, Samsung, Google, OnePlus, you like what you like. But if somebody criticizes, it's all good. Hey, it may be wrong. May not be the best battery life. May not be the best cameras. May not be the best this and best that. But you know what? It's still going to be in my pocket, baby. And for people that would say, well, I'm telling you everything that's wrong with the device, you ought to go down and get rid of the device. And after you told somebody that what your criticisms about my beloved device is well noted, but it's still going to be a device that I'm going to carry. At that point, if somebody come at you and try to influence you to give up your beloved device, then at that point, you have to look at not yourself, but maybe look at the individual that you rocking with, because if they can't respect what you like, then they not your friend anyway. Yeah, they could call out everything that's wrong with certain things that you rock. It's all good. Ain't nothing perfect. But when you come to a realization of something that you comfortable with, that you really like, and we know it got better stuff out there. Of course, every year, every 6 months, they got new product come out. Every 5 months, every time we turn on the TV, they got new stuff come out. Every time. So if I go by what other people say, then I'll be switching products and services every month. Think about this. If I listen to what everything that everybody say, I will be switching products and services every month, because guess what? Products come out every month. Every couple of months you get new products. Every couple of months you get new tablets. Every couple of months you get new phones. Every couple of months they upgrading on services. Every couple of months, and that means that, okay, if every year, then come 2025, you got freaking 13 smartphones come out, 20 smartphones come out. That means that I got to keep upgrading, because I got to listen to what people telling me. Oh, you got that. Oh, the new phone got better cameras, got better this, better battery life and all that. Man, listen, like what you like. Think about, if you keep upgrading, if you keep listening to what other people say, that not only you going to keep spending your money, and you're not going to be happy with yourself. Because you thinking about, a lot of people talk about this and they try to buck themselves up, man. People say this, that if you got an S23 Ultra, the S24 Ultra is going to be a huge upgrade. And you scratch your head and you say, didn't you hear the same shit when they say from the S22 to the S23 was going to be a huge upgrade? Then the S23 to the S24 is a huge upgrade because they put a flat display. They put that flat display. And listen, every time a new product come out, it's supposed to be better than the old product. That's the point. The point is that it's supposed to be better than it's supposed to be better. If it's not better than the old product, then why would they release it? So I say that to say this, that like what you like, roll what you roll, and keep it real no matter what. So yeah, I mean, listen, I know these podcasts, man, we have some fun, bro. And I know sometimes you got to be a little serious about it. And look, it's still my birthday month, and I listen, I enjoyed my birthday. I enjoyed it. It was great. It's been great. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that showed love. Everybody that come to my live streams, everybody that donate to me, everybody that really back me up, everybody that have fun with the Tech Preacher. I want y'all guys to know one thing. I love technology at heart, right? But I want y'all guys to know me as an individual that, I'm here to entertain. I'm here to give you guys information. And everything is not going to be sunshine and roses. Listen, that's why I do reaction videos, because I've made a bunch of mistakes, as y'all guys see in my reaction videos. Y'all guys know I make a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's been great. And I'm going to push forward, move forward, and I'm going to be better at things that I do every day. So let's recap this podcast, baby, because I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to tell you. Listen, at the beginning of the podcast, I want to talk about responsibilities. I talked about responsibilities with the parents. Because parents have to be responsible. Because think about this. Kids is about to go into life. And you as a parent didn't have a plan to get your child to the next level in life. That's your fault. And if you didn't have a path forward for your children and they all graduate from high school, that's your fault. You got to look yourself in the mirror and listen. I know a lot of people might say, oh man, I mean, he talking some real stuff. Listen, but it's never too late though. Listen, it's never too late. Listen, just because your child just graduated from high school and you say to yourself, what he's talking about is exactly what I should have done throughout my years, but I was working hard. I, didn't spend time with my children. I didn't help them the way I need to help them. I didn't have a plan forward for my child. It's never too late. It's never too late to help them, to give them the tools and information that they need for a path forward. Listen, these youngsters, my God, I don't know how deep I got to talk about this. I see this. The younger generation need help, people. The younger generation need help, and I see it, and it's painful to watch. It's painful, and as much as I try to help the younger generation, a lot of the youngsters don't watch tech videos and stuff like that. So I try to do things a little different so I can get some of the younger generation to follow me, man. Because I wish I could get a lot of the younger generation to follow me so I could be a beacon of light, so I can help and give information out to the younger generation. I'm going to do my best. Listen, I'm going to do my part. But I need you guys, man, because somebody. A family member. A young kid out there, a youngster, man, that just fell off the cliff. And their parents haven't helped them, and the parents haven't given them information. And I know what a lot of people say. Well, easy times have changed. You can't go talk to these youngsters right now. They all done. Their brains are done. I mean, let them go to jail. That's the answer to a lot of people's question. Let them go to jail. Let them find out the hallway in the streets. Is that the answer, people? Is that the answer for the younger generation? Let them go to jail. Let them learn the hallway in the streets. That's the two options that we want to give our younger generation. Let them learn the hallway in the streets. You know what happens in the streets, right? Or let them go to jail for the rest of their life. That's our younger generation we talking about here. And you know why? They lost, baby. They just need that. They need guidance, man. We can't let our younger generation fall off a cliff, because guess what? I think the cliff has always, I think a lot of them fell off the cliff. But can we save some? Can we save? Listen, graduation is a huge step for a lot of these teenagers that have been fighting the fight to walk across the stage and to get their diploma and to finish school. That's difficult because they have to deal with a lot. Listen, we all went to school. We know how this works. I graduated from college. I graduated from high school. I already know how this works. We have to be there for our youngsters, man. The younger generation is falling off. And we as adults, we watching it happen and we ain't doing nothing about it. That's our people. They the ones gonna be running this world. When we old and we, we just watch, the time before we leave this planet, they gonna be the ones, senators and mayors, and if they ever make it to that point. And God, you got to remember, man, our younger generation need help. They're the ones gonna run this world. All right. Woo, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh, lad, let's go, baby. Another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast. Look, Erica gonna be back next week, y'all. And we're gonna have a conversation, man. We're gonna talk, man. I love when she come. My daughter's my pride and joy, baby. If you didn't know, she is my pride and joy. All right, we're going to see y'all next week. Same bad place, same bad time, baby. The Tech Preacher, I'm out of here later. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.